Well, what's up, guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead. Don't make fun of my hat. You know you're jealous. You're jealous. You know, there's one thing I truly believe, and that is you can never have too many flashlights. Now, listen, I know a lot of people don't like product reviews. I enjoy product reviews. I enjoy watching product reviews. I enjoy doing the product reviews when it's something that I really like. But I've worked for 12 years in law enforcement in a road assignment. Flashlights are something that I take serious, that I feel the need for. In law enforcement, a flashlight is one piece of equipment that can really save your life. I gotta take this hat off. That's silly. So when I'm at work, I have a big flashlight in my car that I use on traffic stops. I have a smaller flashlight that I carry on my duty belt. And I also have a weapon mounted flashlight on my weapon that I carry while I'm on duty. So that's 3 flashlights when I walk up to a car. Well, so professionally in law enforcement, I truly believe a flashlight can save my life. And that's just kind of carried over into farm life per se. Growing up on a farm, growing up in the woods, whether it's deer hunting, looking for an animal at night, looking for livestock, looking for a raccoon that's after your chickens, whatever it is, a good flashlight is super important. Let me set this down. So as you can see, I've got quite an assortment of flashlights, and I want to tell you, I just want to talk about where we came from and where we're at today in the world of flashlights. So growing up, there were basically 2 things that I commonly had. It was a AA mini mag light, this little guy. I'm sure most of you had them. You turn it on, you twist the end to turn it on, turn it off. It took 2 AA batteries, and if you didn't have brand new batteries in it, you could be walking around at night and have a hard time seeing your feet in front of you. It was so dim. They were just terrible. And when you needed a real light, you stepped up to something like the big mag light that took D-cell batteries. It may cost you, $5 every time you need to use it because the batteries were expensive. It was a much brighter light, but compared to today's world, something this size is going to be brighter than this old, either C or D-cell flashlight. So we've come a long ways in the world of flashlights. These are the old world. What I grew up with, it's kind of like the Water Boy. You ever watch the Water Boy? He always said, he wanted to get his daddy some water, but he couldn't because he was lost in the desert. And that's why he wanted to get all them football players some water. Well, I like light. I don't like walking around in the dark. So flashlights, maybe I nerd out a little bit. I kind of nerd out. I mean, I've got little bitty ones all the way up to the big ones. And when you're talking about high-end flashlights, for years there's kind of been 2 companies that have cornered the market, and that is Surefire and Streamlight. That's your top end. Well, about a year or so ago, I got turned on to a company called OLight, just through YouTube, and that was when I first bought the first OLight I ever bought was the S1R Baton. And this is my EDC flashlight. I carry this in my pocket every day. I love it because I can put it on the bill of my hat just like that at night when I'm working outside doing something. Awesome little flashlight. And it's rechargeable. OLight has, many of their flashlights have it's a USB cord, magnetic tail clip. Charges your flashlight just like that. I love it. I love that little S1R Baton. So recently I contacted OLight to see if they would let me do some product reviews, because who doesn't love free stuff? I love free stuff, and I like OLight. So let's contact them and see if we can get some free stuff out of the deal. So they agreed, and they sent, well, actually, the guy's name's Joby. He checked out our channel, and he's like, I like Houston and all that stuff. So he asked what flashlight I was interested in. So he sent me the OLight M2R Warrior to review. But that wasn't all he sent. He also sent these other 3 little flashlights, these little guys, little keychain flashlights, for this guy. They sent you some flashlights too.
They did?
Yeah, heck yeah. So this video's, back up a little bit. So this video is really kind of a review of the OLight M2R Warrior. It just like my OLight S1R baton. Well, this is the M2R rechargeable with a magnetic tail clip. Super convenient. Just leave this thing plugged in beside my bed, and then at night, if I need it, if the dogs are going crazy or the goats are going crazy, just I have it. There it is, ready to go. This flashlight is a little different than the M2R Warrior. This is more of a law enforcement style flashlight. And later tonight, I'll show you guys the difference in the Streamlight Stry-On that I carry on my duty belt every day and this M2R Warrior. Guys, at night, there is no comparison.
Are these ones mine?
Yes, you can take those and play with them for now. Get those out of the way. So the M2R Warrior, as I said, is rechargeable. Let's move some of these out of the way. We're gonna need those later, I'm sure. It's got a dual switch, so it's got the back button, the tail button. So in law enforcement, if you're searching a house or something, it gives you that back button. To me, the back button's very important. It makes a flashlight much more usable. Guys, this is a cleared weapon. It is not loaded, so I'm not pointing the gun at anybody. So I do have a flashlight on my weapon, but it's also good to have that backup option. So you've got two flashlights. You just never know what's gonna happen. But that tail cap button is super important. But they also have just the regular style button on here. So the tail cap, you can constant on, or you can just soft press and let go, and it goes on and off. The main switch up here is what controls all the different functions of the light. So it's got several different beam brightnesses, I guess you'd say. So the M2R Warrior is a 1500 lumen max flashlight. 1500 lumens is super bright. But as I said, it's got several modes, so it'll go all the way from the moonlight mode, which is 1 lumen, which is this on a dead battery basically. And I use that a lot. I'll show you guys tonight what I use that for. Then you got low, which is 15 lumens, medium 60 lumens, medium, that's medium 2, 60 lumens, medium 1, 250 lumens, high 700 lumens, and turbo, which is the 1500 lumens. But your turbo is not going to last you near as long, but if you just hold the button down, once you turn it on, hold the button down, it strolls through all the different modes. It's also got a strobe, which most people for farm use or personal use really don't need a strobe, but in law enforcement, that's something we use sometimes. It's really handy. It's just an extra feature. But guys, I'm telling you, OLight has really impressed me. I bought the S1R baton based off of a review by who was it? Who was I watching? Last Line of Defense. He carries this as his EDC flashlight all the time, and I've carried it ever since, because we all know we use this flashlight all the time, right? Everyone uses this. It's just not very bright. So I started carrying a rechargeable flashlight in my pocket everywhere I go. It doesn't take up much space. With that clip, you can put it on your hat. This is magnetic, so obviously you're not gonna be sticking it to your gun, but you can, whatever you're working on, if you got a work surface, a metal work surface, it's magnetic. The M2R Warrior is also magnetic, but it's a little too heavy. It would hang upside down if you had a work surface above you that you could hang it down. But I tell you what, having a rechargeable flashlight just changes the game. Because when we had the old days when you had D cell, C cell, couldn't recharge. There were some mag lights that were rechargeable, but the batteries were terrible. Streamlight makes some good rechargeable flashlights. But this right here, this little charger changes the game, because it doesn't take a cradle mounted on a wall or mounted in your vehicle. You can literally just lay this on your bedside nightstand and it clips on. So I'm gonna do 3 flashlights once it gets dark. I wanna show you guys the difference in the Streamlight Stry-On that I carry on my duty belt versus the OLight M2R Warrior. And I'll also throw in the S1R baton OLight. 3 flashlights we'll just show you after dark. I'm not gonna go through the whole list of all these other flashlights. It's flashlights, guys, But these 2 right here, I can't wait for you guys. Streamlight, I've always loved Streamlight, and they have great flashlights. But OLight's really stepped up the game. this flashlight, what I really like about it most is it doesn't have a real tight beam. So when you shine your flashlight out, it's got a huge throw. So the beam is very, very wide, which causes it to light up such a huge area up close, which is awesome if you're searching for somebody in the dark, or you're out looking for your animals in the dark, or someone's in your house. You want to put as much light out there as possible, not a small beam that shines a long distance. So super impressed with this OLight M2R Warrior. Guys, if you're interested in checking out anything from OLight, they left me a custom link in the description box down below. Go check them out on their website. Be sure to check out the rechargeable stuff. If you're gonna buy a flashlight, please buy a rechargeable. It just will save you so much headache, so much time. You'll always have a charged flashlight. And they left me a coupon code, so if you go to their website and you decide to buy anything, use OLight 10 and that'll save you 10% off your order. Their prices are fair compared to high-end flashlights. We're not talking about, you know, Harbor Freight or Walmart or cheap LED flashlights. These are good quality, very well built flashlights. So let's cut to the chase and go see these things in the dark. So if I'm gonna try to convince you to spend money on a flashlight, I gotta show you what they'll do, right? I mean, you gotta be able to see all the differences in what you're gonna get and what features they have. So we'll start off with the S1R Baton, my EDC flashlight. This little guy, for no bigger than it is a super powerful flashlight. And I really, really like it. I'm amazed at how bright this little light is. It's got several modes, just like all OLight flashlights. You can scroll through if you just need a little light. You know, if you want to conserve battery, you can put it on like a medium brightness, or you can always go to straight up turbo and light up the whole world. And this little flashlight's literally like 2 inches long. From there, we'll check out my flashlight I carry on my duty belt at work. And I thought this was a super bright flashlight. The Streamlight Stryon LED. I've carried this flashlight for 2 years thinking, man, this is a bright flashlight. And it has some good features, you know, it's got strobe, which is cool and all, which actually is useful in law enforcement. But here's my flashlight I carry at work versus the S1R Baton, the little bitty EDC flashlight. Stryon, S1R Baton. It's crazy. There's no comparison. The Baton, little rechargeable miniature EDC flashlight, is 3 times brighter. Then we can step up to the M2R Warrior. This thing is a beast. Check this out. M2R Warrior, that's the turbo mode. We can turn it on a low mode. You can barely see. Can work our way up, step up. There's low. There's like a medium level. Next level up. I mean, that's bright. But then you've got the turbo mode. And I'm not kidding, guys. This thing throws out a huge wide beam. The difference in this flashlight, the M2R Warrior, and my Streamlight Stryon, do you see how narrow the beam is with this? Well, I mean, in law enforcement, obviously you want as much light out there as possible. So something like this, to me, where I can see a huge wide field and not just a little narrow, you know, spotlight beam basically. I used to think this was an awesome flashlight, the Streamlight Stryon. And I'm telling you what, I'm not carrying this flashlight at work anymore. I promise you, I'm going to be carrying this new OLight M2R Warrior. This thing is amazing. That's with this is using the front toggle switch. It's also got the tail switch, which just goes straight into turbo mode. You can set it up for the tail switch to be a light press, turbo, long press, strobe. But really, unless you're in law enforcement, I don't see a whole lot of use for the strobe feature. So I don't think the M2R Warrior is strictly a law enforcement flashlight. As I said earlier, I geek out on flashlights. I'm kind of like a flashlight nerd. I'm like the water boy of the flashlight world lately. But on a small farm or any size farm, it doesn't matter what size farm you're on, a flashlight's a very important tool. So let's walk around, do a little more looking around with the flashlight, take it down to the barn, and talk about it a little bit more. Barry, you chasing any varmints tonight? You keeping everybody safe? Huh? You keeping everybody safe tonight? What's happening, goaties? So I don't have electricity at the barn, but I'll show you what I can do with this flashlight. With a super bright flashlight, I just come outside, stand it up somewhere where the goats can't knock it down, and point it at the ceiling. And as you can tell, it lights up the whole barn. So I can do my chores outside in the dark. Since I don't have electricity in the barn yet, that's kind of how I handle that situation. We'll just throw a flashlight up out here. Eventually we'll have electricity down here, but not yet. So if you press and hold the power switch on the front for, I think, 2 seconds, you'll get what's called a firefly mode. Look at this thing. It just barely puts off any light at all. If I shine it at the ground, you can just barely see it on camera. But I never really thought this would be a useful feature until I got the Baton S1R. And I use this firefly mode a ton during deer season, because when you're deer hunting and you're crawling in your ground blind or you're getting up in your tree stand, you just want a little bit of light. You don't want to let the whole world know you're there, but you got to be able to see what you're doing. So this little firefly mode is actually a lot more handy than I thought it was going to be. Well guys, that's all I've got. There's my assortment of flashlights. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you learned something from this video. If you've never heard of OLight, they're not a super big company, but they're growing and they're gaining popularity all the time. Go check out OLight. Use the link in the description box down below, and don't forget to use that coupon code OLight10 to save you 10%. And as I said earlier, if you're gonna buy a flashlight, please buy a rechargeable one. And I feel like OLight has the best best charging system on the market right now. I really like OLight. And it's not just because they did send us some free stuff. Yes, but I've done reviews. I've shared OLight with you guys at least 2 different times on my channel, because I really do love my little EDC OLight S1R Baton flashlight. I love that thing. Carry it all the time. And I use it all the time, especially when it rains and we're crossing the bridge in the dark on our driveway, and my family's like, it's dark out here. And I say, Dad can fix that problem. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.